everyone. My name's Mary, and I'm coming to you from the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And I'm here today for music and stories. So, to get started, we need to do our hello song. Hello, hello, to you and you and you. Hello, hello, to you and you and you. A big hello, a small hello, a hi, hello, 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 to you and you and you. And hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you came to join us today. But every week when I do this, I always like to start with the word of the week. And this week, the word is absorb. Now, absorb means to take in or soak up, or engross the attention of someone. So, absorb. Can we all say absorb? So what I'm going to show you here is, this is a glass with some water, and you can see the water right there. First of all, I have a paper towel. And if I put the paper towel in the glass and touch the water, that paper towel will absorb the water. There's still some water there though. So, you know another way we can absorb the water? You take a sponge and you put the sponge right in there. Not that the sponge really fits in there very good. And that sponge will just keep absorbing up that water. Yes. And you can see where the water has gone right up and been absorbed by the sponge. So that is the word of the week, absorb. Now why don't we turn to a song, and we could do If You're Happy and You Know It. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! And I hope you are all happy today and you were able to do all of that with me. And now I am going to do a story with you. This is a story that I think a lot of you have heard before, and a lot of you know. But it's such a fun story, I thought we could do it today. This is called Caps for Sale. and Caps for Sale was told and illustrated by Esfir Slobotkina. Now, this book was written quite a while ago. It was published by HarperCollins and published in 1940. That was quite a long time ago. But it's a story that has stood the test of time. Now, once there was a peddler, and that peddler sold caps. But he was not like an ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap. Then, a bunch of gray caps. Then, a bunch of brown caps. And then then a bunch of blue caps. And then, on the very top, a bunch of red caps. And you can see it wasn't easy to walk with all those caps on his head. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street. He walked down the street, calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" Nobody wanted any caps. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. Now that's a nice place for a rest, thought he, and he sat down very, very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. Well, they were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time, and when he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. So, before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. But all he felt was his own cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree. And what do you think he saw? He saw on every branch sat a monkey. And on every monkey was a gray, or a brown, or a blue, or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys," he said, shaking a finger at them, "you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him. This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and he shouted, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, Oh, at last he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, he threw it in the ground, and he began to walk away. And then each monkey pulled off his cap, and all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps came, all the red caps all came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checked hat, then the gray hat caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." And that's the story of Caps for Sale by Esther Slobodkina. And this book was published by HarperCollins in 1940. Well, I hope you joined in with me, being like those monkeys, shaking your fists, and wagging your finger, and stamping your feet. This is a fun story to try and act out. So now, why don't we sing The Wheels on the Bus? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. The lights on the bus go blink, 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 blink. The lights on the bus go blink, 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 all through the town. The door on the bus goes open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The door on the bus goes open and shut, all through the town. The people on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus go up and down, all through the town. The baby on the bus goes wah, 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 wah. The baby on the bus goes wah, 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 all through the town. The parents on the bus go shh, 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 shh. The parents on the bus go shh, 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 all through the town. Well, thank you so much for joining us today for Music and Stories. And do you remember the word of the week was absorb? And we saw how the paper towel and the sponge were able to absorb the water. So, before we go, we'll do our goodbye song. Goodbye, goodbye to you and you and you. Goodbye, goodbye to you and you and you. A big goodbye, a small goodbye, a high goodbye. Oh, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye to you and you and you. And goodbye for now. My name's Mary, and I'm coming to you from the children's room at the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And until next time, bye-bye.